wanna come in? We good?
Yeah, you can come in.
Have you seen Dae Young by any chance?
No, I haven't.
Or Glow? Or anybody that had something to do with me missing out on Starcage?
No.
I'm a little frustrated.
Yeah.
But as expected. What is this? Oh, good. What is that? Who was here before? Was Brute here? That's got to be something Brute was drinking. Have you ever been out to party with Brute?
I haven't. I haven't at all.
Listen, let me tell you a story. I know this is your interview, but I'm going to interview you for a second.
Okay.
Brute, after cashing the case, me and Ty Remedy and Brute went out.
Yeah.
And Brute made this drink, and he called it the Brute Express. He called the drink the Brute Express.
Yeah.
And before he makes you drink it, he goes chugga chugga Brute, and he makes you drink it. Listen, when I tell you the only thing I remembered after that night was waking up on my steps, it was bad. Anyways, sorry to make me interview you, but back to the real interview. I apologize.
No, it's okay. That was an interesting story.
Me and Brute and Ty Remedy, we got a bunch of stories.
I would like to listen to them sometime.
We go down. I'll fill you in.
Okay. Hello. I hope you, the subscribers, enjoy that. That question right there. Yeah. I wasn't expecting it.
I hope they enjoy it as well.
I did. I like the Brute.
Yeah, the Brute. Oh man.
Prime time.
Prime time. Brute.
Prime time worldwide. All right. My name is Dennis Marshall.
Dennis Marshall. Nice to meet you, Dennis.
Nice to meet you too, Carmelo Lee. And I'm here to ask you some questions, some tough questions.
Yeah, I'm here to give you some potential answers, maybe.
So, in a normal contenders match against the Scoop, Scott Richards, he wasn't successful because Dae Young interfered in your match. Can you give me your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that are, what else is there to say besides I'm obviously disappointed. I wanted to be in the first ever Starcage main event, but a part of me feels rewarded by knowing that there is somebody on this roster that fears the thought of going against me at Starcage Mania. And Dae Young knows more than anybody probably in the whole company. Under pressure, I become a god. When the situation gets the toughest and everyone doesn't know where to go, doesn't know what to do, I break through destruction and I rise above everything, above adversity, doubt, and I put fear into people's hearts when the lights shine the brightest. So Dae Young knows that more than anybody and decided to strike Scott Richards with a pipe, sending Scott Richards to the pay-per-view. And he made that stipulation in advance. So Dae Young knew who he wanted to fight, and he chose Scott Richards because of fear over me. But Dae Young should also know that all the evil, all the dark, all the demons that were inside of me years ago are now controlled. It's Melo Primetime now. And Melo Primetime being out of a match at the grandest stage of backyard history is bad for business. So as for Starcage, we'll have to find out.
Okay, my next question is, who do you think your opponents you want to face at Starcage Mania?
Well,
any recommendations?
Starcage is in about 2 weeks. Everybody's preparing for their match. So we got Ty Remedy versus Drift.
Yeah.
That shit came out of nowhere. We obviously now got Scott Richards versus the Monarchy. And then we have Grayson versus Brute for the co-allegiance of the YouTube champion. So every major belt is taken care of. So as of right now, I have no direction towards Starcage, and it's looking like, I don't know. It's not looking good for Starcage right now.
Are you sure there's two familiar foes that try, one paid, the other to throw you off yeah.
You know what, Dennis? You bring up a valuable point. Because October 15th, make 7 years since the Three Horsemen sat down and discovered or rediscovered RSPW. And those 3 people, Antonio Silva, who many thought would be over after cashing the case, but no, he continues to run his mouth. And Damian Saint, who I still have not been able to straighten out yet, but when I get my hands on him, it's going to be a bad sight. Those 2 set me up, threw me off of a waterfall, thinking, no more Carmelo Lee. You know, you guys are right. And Dennis, I thank you for bringing this up because it is such a valuable point. They did get rid of Carmelo Lee. They threw him off of a cliff, nowhere to be seen, because at cash in the case, it wasn't a prince. It wasn't an icon. It wasn't a sacrifice. It wasn't nothing but the debut and rise of a king. So, this is what I propose. Starcagemania, the biggest, best, and most entertaining platform in backyard history. The 3 creators of it fight. And Antonio Silva and Damian Saint, if you guys are man enough to accept, we will see the ego star, Antonio Silva. We will see the Perspectives golden child, Damian Saint. And the one above them all, the athlete, the primetime, the golden child of RSPW, the god of RSPW. Because most importantly, at Starcagemania, you guys won't be coming out and fighting a prince. You guys will be coming out and fighting King Mello.